In a bombshell development shaking both Hollywood and the monarchy-turned-media saga, Netflix has reportedly put Meghan Markle on high alert. Deliver results or face termination. The warning comes after growing internal dissatisfaction with the performance of the Duchess of Sussex's projects, many of which have failed to live up to the royal-sized expectations. According to credible production sources, the streaming giant is furious over declining returns and has issued a sharp warning any further dip in content value or public reception could end her lucrative deal altogether. While the Sussexes once promised Netflix a treasure trove of royal revelations and progressive storytelling, what they've actually delivered has sparked controversy, divided audiences, and now triggered corporate unrest. Meghan Markle's transition from royal to media mogul has been anything but smooth. Her 2022 Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan initially drew large numbers, but viewership sharply declined after the first few episodes. Critics pointed to the repetitive narrative, overly dramatized victimhood, and lack of fresh insights. Audiences expected a behind-the-scenes royal exposé but were instead served a heavily curated self-promotion campaign. Netflix, known for banking on risk-takers, did not anticipate a backlash of the scale. Viewers began tuning out, and internal reports allegedly flagged the series as highly polarizing and unsustainable for retention. It didn't stop there. Markle's animated Project Pearl, which centered around a young girl inspired by influential women in history, was quietly shelved by Netflix in 2022, a move that insiders claimed was driven by creative disagreements and a lack of confidence in Meghan's production oversight. While her supporters decried the cancellation as unjust, insiders point to constant delays, overinflated budgets, and creative control issues as the main culprits. One producer even alleged that Meghan insisted on inserting her personal experiences into the storyline, diluting its original purpose. Behind the scenes, Netflix executives have reportedly grown increasingly frustrated. A senior executive told a UK tabloid on condition of anonymity, "We were promised global impact, revolutionary storytelling, and high engagement. What we got were shallow documentaries, weak pitches, and a lot of drama outside the camera." Netflix is a business, and Meghan's personal brand, clouded by public feuds, political ambiguity, and growing royal fatigue, has turned from asset to liability. Adding fuel to the fire are Meghan's off-screen controversies. Her strained relationships with the British royal family continue to be a source of tabloid frenzy, but what was once considered brave truth-telling is now viewed by many as relentless antagonism. Public sympathy has waned as critics accuse Meghan of commodifying personal grievances for profit. Her calculated interviews, from Oprah to The Cut, often recycle the same themes: racism, isolation, and institutional betrayal, while offering little accountability for her own contradictions. For Netflix, this polarizing persona may have once guaranteed eyeballs, but now it's threatening their bottom line. Even her podcast, Archetypes, faced trouble. While it debuted with buzz, it failed to sustain momentum. Industry analysts noted declining listenership and a format that felt more therapeutic than entertaining. Spotify dropped the show after just one season, with an executive bluntly saying there just wasn't enough content to justify the investment. That same disappointment now echoes within Netflix's walls. The allure of royalty has dimmed, and the reality of media performance metrics is catching up. A significant issue is Meghan's hands-on involvement. Multiple insiders from Archwell Productions have described her as difficult to work with, often clashing with seasoned producers over content direction. Her insistence on brand control, image curation, and message uniformity has reportedly led to high staff turnover and creative standoffs. Netflix, a company that thrives on innovation and creative freedom, finds itself boxed in by a figure who appears more concerned with optics than substance. The stakes are now higher than ever. Netflix has issued what some sources call a final probationary period, during which Meghan must prove her production value either through a breakout hit or significantly improved engagement. Failure could result in the termination of the multi-million-dollar deal, a massive blow to Archwell's credibility and future media endeavors. This ultimatum doesn't just reflect Meghan's personal challenges. It underscores a broader industry reckoning. Influence must translate to impact. Meghan Markle's Hollywood chapter is standing on a precipice. Once hailed as a disruptive visionary who would reshape storytelling, she now faces a harsh truth: celebrity alone doesn't guarantee success. Netflix's warning isn't just about numbers, it's about trust, delivery, and value. Her Hollywood ambitions, once amplified by royal prestige and a wave of public sympathy, are now unraveling under the weight of unmet promises and creative underperformance. Netflix executives, once eager to align with the global intrigue surrounding the Sussexes, are now reportedly questioning whether the gamble was worth it. The novelty has worn off, says one insider close to the matter. There's only so many times you can tell the same story about the royal family before audiences tune out, and that's exactly what's happening. Even Harry's involvement hasn't insulated the duo from scrutiny. Though he remains a sympathetic figure to many, his documentary appearances have been viewed as extensions of Meghan's narrative, further fueling criticism that their projects serve more as personal PR than compelling content. The internal sentiment within Netflix is clear: performance matters and sentimentality won't pay the bills. Meghan's reported unwillingness to pivot or take creative risks outside of her familiar messaging has exacerbated tensions. While many industry veterans adapt quickly in the fast-paced streaming environment, Meghan is said to rely heavily on carefully calculated branding, which has resulted in material that lacks spontaneity and authenticity. This rigid control over content has alienated collaborators and stifled fresh ideas. The irony is hard to miss. Markle entered the media space to control her story but may lose her platform altogether by refusing to evolve it. With Netflix tightening its grip and public interest waning, the path forward is narrower than ever. Meghan Markle must now either deliver content that resonates beyond the echo chamber or face the sobering reality that the media world she tried to conquer may be ready to move on without her. The honeymoon is over, and the spotlight, once flattering, is now unforgiving.